to the channel. If this is your first time coming across this channel, I'm Chinwe. And to my returning subscribers, thank you for always here to see what we got. And to my new subscribers, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being part of the family. They say blacks are playing victims.
People always crack me up when they say black people need to stop playing the victim because they literally have no idea what they're talking about.
You hear that? They always say they are playing victims, but they don't really know what they're talking about.
But imagine thinking that if someone talks about the issues that face a community, that they're playing a victim, like they can't care about things beyond themselves. Like the only way that I could possibly be speaking out against racism is if I have this victim complex, victim mentality. Anyway, thoughts and prayers.
So in today's video, let's hear the reactions of some black TikTokers on the issue. Let's hear what they have to say.
False. We are not just as equal. No matter how you say it or how you spin it, we are not just as equal as white people. They definitely have more opportunity. They had a head start. You do realize our people was enslaved for 400 plus years. I'm going to say plus years. So no, it's not equal opportunity. It's not the oppression mindset. We're not playing victim. And you as a black person, I mean, should know that. I mean, I guess if you're black or whatever. But no, we don't play victim, honey. It's not our fault. We are victims. Some of us don't fall into that victim thing, mentality. But we are victims. Our ancestors are victims. It's in our blood. So we don't act as victims. That's what it is. Yes, a lot of us need therapy, but don't come in here and downplay the stuff that we've been through, the stuff that our people have been through, make it seem like we want pity. No, that's how it is. We are the victims. They made us victims by the stuff that they did, and we don't have equal opportunity. That's just not how it works, and you know that.
I just want to say how frustrating and how tiring it is when people of color, specifically black people, when we try to talk about injustice and things that offend us, that we are always silenced and people are always attacking us and saying we're playing the victim card. And it's really frustrating because I only feel like it happens to us. We only bring up race issues when it's involved with race or cultural issues that deals with us. And I made that video to talk about why that was offensive, and lots of people are offended, but instead of people feeling sympathy or empathizing, a lot of the comments are very rude and ignorant. There's too many gaslighting. That's why we talk about these issues.
Can you stop victimizing yourself? Black people just don't want vaccines. I'm not victimizing myself. Trust me, if I wanted to, I could. I'm black, I'm gender fluid and discriminated against. My mom died, she was a single mom. I have OCD, ADHD, tracking disorder, all leading to depression when I was a kid. And I was severely bullied. So there's me playing the victim for you. But despite all these challenges, this is still a positivity page and an educational page. So to your point, I don't think black people are playing the victim. I think that the black communities in general are somewhat afraid of vaccinations because of historic and systemic racism when it comes to healthcare and doctors in the black communities. For example, there's still a good amount of racism when it does come to providing care to black individuals. That's why we still see black individuals dying at a much earlier age than white individuals. Before you chalk it up to crime or drug use, that's not it. We actually see in medical school, when we look at how people are taught, usually they're given white patients, when black patients' symptoms may look slightly different, literally due to the melanin in their skin. For example, Lyme's disease looks different based on if you're black or white. Anyway, hope this helps.
Are they really playing victims in everything? Or there are special places or places they play the victim? These are really neat to know.
I'm chilling at the park watching the sunrise, and I got time to reply. So if you click the comment that I'm replying to and watch that video, it's essentially a woman of color talking about how amazing her experience with white people has been. Never experienced racism, bigotry, microaggression, discrimination, none of that. Chef's kiss. Good for you. I'm so glad you've never had to go through that. But in her video, she brings up her community, our community, black people, twice. First time, she's essentially saying that she learned she was ratchet, her hair was nappy, She was too loud, too much, all of that from her community, that white people have never told her any of that. And the second time, if you watch the video, Miss Girl, she explains that she felt the need to feel oppressed and be a victim when she got black friends. What does that imply to you? Let's use context clues. That black people play the victim. Okay, good. All right, now that we're up to date on what her video said. I commented on her video because it was an open dialogue. She asked for comments. I said, that is your experience, and I'm happy for that. But to imply that most black people are playing victim ain't it, to be honest. Then I followed it up with 2 more comments saying, you need to realize that a sum does not make up a majority, yes, but to downplay the sum as if it doesn't exist will not help the situation. And this is what I mean by that. I, a woman of color, a Mexican black woman, have encountered many racist white people in my life. And I've also encountered many racist Mexican people in my life. But I have also encountered some of the most loving Mexican and white people in my life who have never shown an ounce of discrimination, hatred, bigotry, or any of that towards me. So I understand a sum does not make up the majority. But
Ibram X. Kennedy's, the Angela Davises of the world, they stand on their perch and their pedestal to tell people like me that I'm oppressed. I'm not oppressed. Tell other black people that you are a victim of your situation and circumstance. What happens when you teach people from birth all the way through? Because this is a generational thing, like I said. When you teach people victimology from birth and say that you're an automatic victim, you're going to grow up with the mentality that you are a victim. You're going to grow up with this loser mentality that like, oh, I guess I can't do anything in life. I guess I got to sell. I guess I got to trap on the block. I guess I got to knock up this dude and take his wallet. I guess I got to do all these nefarious things because I'm not going to make it anyways, right? And I think that is a huge problem within the black community. And sad to say, there's a lot of people on the liberal side who perpetuate this idea that people like me can't rise above my situation and status in life without their help. The white savior complex we hear a lot of.
Do you agree with him? Let's hear more.
People live in victim consciousness. They have a belief that something outside of themselves determines their destiny, determines their happiness, their peace of mind, their prosperity. And victims have a victim story. If you ask them why aren't they happy, they know, they can articulate to a T what happened, when it happened, who did it to them. And they know the story so well that becomes the lens that they look at life through. So they're a victim. So the idea is to become aware of your victim conversation, your victim statements, and begin to move into the vibration of giving up blame. You have to give up blame in order to take the next step. You know, forgiveness can actually be summed up into, I give up blame. And then you begin to ask other kind of empowering questions. You know, how can I grow from this? You know, what lesson do I need to learn from this? What lesson is the universe giving me right now? Because the universe is progressive, doesn't go backwards, it's constantly expanding.
I find it odd that they call Black Americans victims and that they play victimhood. They walked around as victims. But I've never heard any of us, black, brown, or caramel, speak that way. I guess for people who don't want to be accountable to generational or historical things, I guess they're going to try to shift these things over to the people who've had to walk through and deal with it. You don't hear them say that about when they talk about the story of the Jewish people in the Holocaust. You don't hear people say that, hey, those Jewish people are playing victims. They're always talking about victimhood. They're always asking for things. And the reason that I believe that those evil elements from white America that talk that way or don't talk that way is because in the story of Black America, the villains in our story was white America, North, South, East, West, Democrat, Republican. America is the villain in our story. And it's easy for them to talk about the Jewish people, because Hitler and the Germans at that time were the villains in the story of the Jewish people. But with the story of Black America, and let's even throw in the native indigenous people, who are the villains in the atrocity or atrocities that happened to black and brown America.
Do you hear them? Did you hear that? Like, do you hear their reactions? But this particular black man have reacted differently. Let's hear him. Let me not tell you what he said, but let's hear him.
Black people, we need to do better. We need to come together, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, and take advantage of the opportunities we've been given in this country. You know, it's just sad. I mean, look at our culture. Look at the way we speak. Look at the way we dress. These unprofessional nails and this unprofessional hair. And this can't even speak proper English and drug infestation. Just look at our community. Look at our music. And I mean, 13% of us commit 50% of the crime. Is it any wonder that people are racist against us? I'm sorry, I can't. I'm sorry. I know it's insidious, but if it looked like white supremacy and quack like white supremacy, if you know somebody who talks like this, just remind them that there's nothing wrong with our culture that's not wrong with any other culture, and no culture lives in a vacuum. Just say you're racist and go.
I've heard all this said. Are they really playing victims? Or is it like their mindset? I don't know. I can't classify it. But let's hear from the comment section what you think about blacks playing victims. And please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, just hit that red subscribe button and the bell beside it so I'll be notified whenever I make new videos like this, juicy TikTok gist. So see you in my next video. Bye.